What's going on, everybody? JT here with the Next Block, and today we're going to be looking at the Bitcoin chart. If you enjoy the content, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. We're going to take a quick look at the charts and see if we can predict where Bitcoin is going. So without further ado, let's take a look at some charts. Alright, so here we have Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. This white vertical line is the Bitcoin halving. Obviously, this is a rough estimate. It could happen before or after this point, depending on how quick blocks are processed. But this is a rough idea, about April, maybe May of 2024 for the halving. As you can see right here, Bitcoin is still under the 200-week moving average, which is this reddish pink line right here. We are above the 50-week moving average, which is the bull market support band. However, until we went below it in June of 2022, Bitcoin has never been below this 200-week moving average. So although the 50-week moving average we've talked about before in previous videos being the bull market support band, we still want to see it above this 200-week moving average because that's been its historic support line. So the fact that we're under it means that it'll be treated as resistance until we get back above. So we want to see that. And then once we see that, if we can make it past the 100-week moving average here at 29.9, about $30,000, Bitcoin is off to the races. So one of the good things is Bitcoin is making a slightly higher low right here. So we had Bitcoin hit a low of 24.8K back in June, and it hit a low a little bit above that in the almost 24.9K range. So another higher low, which is good. We have this higher high here. That's of course good. And what we want to see is Bitcoin go and put in another higher high, somewhere up here, maybe around the 32K over the course of the next coming weeks. If Bitcoin fails to put in another higher high and puts in a lower high, that will not look good. If Bitcoin starts rolling over, as we just mentioned in the dollar video we just put out, if Bitcoin starts rolling over while the dollar keeps showing strength, that wouldn't be a good sign for crypto. But as of right now, we've got a strong weekly green candle here. Things look pretty good. We might be able to recapture this 200-week moving average, but let's zoom in a little more closely and see what we get. So here we have Bitcoin on the daily time frame. I have a bunch of horizontal lines here to represent resistance and support lines. So we have this resistance line right here, which Bitcoin is testing as we speak at around $27,000. That is where the 50-day moving average is. The next resistance is at $27,800. That is where the 200-day and 200-week moving average happen to meet. And then the next line of resistance after that is about 28.3K, where the 100-day moving average is. And then after that, about 30K, where the 100-week moving average is, way up here. As you can see right here, just a couple of days ago, Bitcoin had a death cross, which usually signals more bearish movement to come, but these are also lagging indicators, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that. However, so as we've mentioned in our dollar video we recently just put out, go check that out, the dollar is about to have a golden cross while Bitcoin just a few days ago had a death cross. Of course, that's not a good look, and being below this 200-week moving average also isn't a good look. But if Bitcoin can, as I said, if Bitcoin can reclaim this 200-week moving average and make its way up, make a higher high, then Bitcoin still is looking good. As of right now, we are still in bullish structure, as I mentioned before, with this higher low right here and this higher high right here, but we want to see that continue. Now, if Bitcoin does get rejected right here at the 50-day moving average or even at the 200-week moving average, then we could see it come down and retest the lows as low as $24,000. Of course, if we see that, that would be putting in a new lower low, and it could begin Bitcoin's downward trajectory. So what we really want to see is a reclaiming of these resistance lines over the course of the next few weeks. If we can't do that, I would be a little concerned that Bitcoin's coming down to 24,000. Of course, with the lead up to the halving and the Federal Reserve pausing rate hikes, maybe even eventually lowering rates, could be a great time to buy if we do get knocked off this resistance line and come back down to this 24,000 level. Of course, none of this is financial advice, so don't be buying based on this video. Of course, do your own research, but in my humble opinion, if we did go down here, I would be looking to scoop some up. If we take a look at the MACD in relation to price, it also looks extremely bullish for Bitcoin. So as you can see here, we had a MACD cross back in January of 2023. That signaled a turn in the market, and we came down all the way down to about $19.7 thousand from about $24.2 thousand at this cross. We crossed bullish back in March 2023 on the MACD at around $21.3 thousand and crossed back bearish on the MACD around $28,000. Of course, we made another top a little higher than that, but the MACD didn't cross bullish again until about June of 2023, where we saw the next leg up. We are back here. We've had a bullish cross in August of 2023, and it looks like Bitcoin is going to start making its rally up. So if we just follow this MACD, up, down, up, down, up, down, correlates perfectly, we are headed back up according to the MACD. Of course, anything could happen that could cause this to roll over, much like it did here. It curled back up, rolled back over. However, this does look a lot stronger than this did right here. And you can even see right here in this little graph that basically indicates the momentum right here. There's a lot more green bars. Well, actually, one of the greatest things about these green bars, I'll have to do a video strictly on that, but these green bars, let's zoom in a little bit, green and red bars, they're actually really, really useful. So when they're like a dark green like this, that shows a lot of strength in the buying. When it turns light green, that's typically when you really, really, really want to sell. Of course, when there's a MACD cross, that's well after the fact. If you actually line these up when they turn light green, that shows a weakening in the bull market. That's usually when you actually want to sell. So bullish momentum still seems really, really strong. We still have really strong green candles. This is curling up high. The last thing I want to see is down here on the RSI. I want to see the weekly RSI get above the moving average that's associated with that RSI. We got above it here in April of 2020. And besides this little dip right here, we stayed above it until January of 2021. This signaled a strong bull market. Then when we were below it, that's the bear market, of course, and same pattern throughout. Of course, this gets choppy over here, but we are currently below this moving average. So I want to see Bitcoin on the RSI, the weekly RSI, get above this moving average that's associated with it. I want to see Bitcoin get above these moving averages right here, the 200-week moving average at about 28K, as well as the 100-week moving average at about 30K, and make a higher high. If it can do that, personally, I think we could say the bear market is over. Until then, I'm hesitant to make that call. We still have some tough waters ahead of us, but if we can make another higher high and get above all of these moving averages, I will say here on this channel that the bear market is over. And that's a wrap. That's my technical analysis video for Bitcoin. If you enjoyed the content, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, let us know down in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think Bitcoin is going to make a new all-time high this year, next year, the year after, never again? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with my technical analysis here? We want to hear it in the comments below. Definitely let us know. Be sure to ping that notification bell because we have a great lineup of guests coming on the live show, including Stacey Warden, the Algorand Foundation CEO, Mark Yusko of Morgan Creek Capital, Anthony Scaramucci of Skybridge Capital, a whole bunch of great names for the rest of the year. You're not going to want to miss it. Be sure to subscribe, ping that notification bell, let us know what you think, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.